Hi guys, I was trying to figure out the best way to show you my vintage tablecloths. So I've worked it 2 or 3 different ways, but this is the best way I can. It may not be perfect, but it's going to be the best way I can show them to you. I'm not going to open all of them up, but I'm going to open some of them up, and I'm going to tell you what I know about them. Some of them are very vintage, some of them are not, but I do want to tell you all about what I do have. So let's try this. This tablecloth that's on here is a 1940s, and it's strawberries and blue. I love to use it, especially around in the summer, because it does go with the blue and white vintage dishes, and it's also summer, 4th of July. So I do like to use it when I have all of my 4th of July things out. But I'm going to scoot this over, scoot this down, pick it up, and move it away. Okay, I'm going to start with the floral ones. They are I know, I can't say they're my favorite, but I use them quite a bit. So this one I've used for a baby shower even. It's just around the edges. The middle has the 1 flowers in it. Around the edges has this all the way out. It's a rectangle. It does fit it's about that far away from my 8-place chairs. So if I have a leaf out, it does fall off the edge, but it fits perfect for what I use it for. I'll use it as an angle, or I'll use it open full. I have used it as a table runner too. I'll show you how to do that later on. This one has been used and used, as you can tell. It has faded some. This was Mama's. Mama would put this on the table when we had company, especially when the preacher came for a revival. She would put this on the table. We had 2 tables, and the one she put this one on was the one that had the coffee and the snack things for it, not the dining table. She used this one, I guess you could say, more for the kitchen table. Mama had a dining room and a kitchen, and we weren't allowed to be in that dining room very much. This is another one. This is a card table. Goes on a card table. The colors in here are absolutely beautiful. These are all 40s and 50s that I'm showing you. There may be some late 30s. I'm not sure, or there could be some early 60s. I'm not sure, but I do know most of them are 50s and 60s. Especially in the 60s, the ladies played bridge. Not my mama. My mama didn't play bridge. I never learned how to play bridge, but they used these a lot for the card tables that they would have, and then they would also have their special little desserts and things that they offered to eat and drink. This is a really pretty one. This maroon, I don't see this maroon in one very much now. I know there's a lot more that way, but I haven't seen that many in the maroon colors, especially with the blues on there. But it's a larger tablecloth. I want you to see how beautiful some of that detail is. This is Morning Glories. Morning Glories, you see Morning Glories a lot in different 40s and 50s art, tablecloths, fabrics, any of those things. You see a lot of that. So that's one I use quite a bit too. All right, the next one I have, I am going to open this one up because it is a little different. It's much different. Isn't that beautiful? It's roses and the blue, and it's so pretty. I can't explain how pretty these roses are. I hope you can see those really good. This has been just a very versatile one for me. Now, most of the time when I use it, as you saw when I first came out, I'll put it at a caddy corner because it is too small for my larger table. And then I've used this by simply putting a white vase with roses in it, especially when my knockout roses are going. Rose is not my favorite flower, I love most flowers. There's not one that I like the best, I'll just tell you that. But I'm not a big rose girl. I like to get flowers that are different things, but this one is just really beautiful. This one also is easy to use. It is, I have to hold it out just a little bit more than normal. See, it's in a square pattern. Look how pretty. Those colors are so beautiful. This looks like a limelight, and I don't know if they had limelights. Limelights, I'm not sure how long they've been in existence, but using the blue leaves was such a different way to use the blue. But they're so pretty, and I don't even know what kind of leaf it is, and I'm not sure that they were going for any certain leaf, but it certainly is very versatile, very pretty. And I encourage you, if you find any, these I've had, oh gosh, gang, I don't know how long I've had most of these. I don't think I have any new ones as of late, but I have a lot of, they're different. When I was looking for tablecloths, I wasn't looking for I didn't want to collect a certain kind, a certain color. That's the way a lot of people do, is they only buy this, that, and the other. I bought what caught my eye. This was Mama's. I got some of my Mama's, and I got some of one of my aunts. I didn't know her very well. This was a great story. Oh, look, that's right. I got a blackberry stain on it. I didn't know my pawpaw, my mama's daddy's family, very well at all. Had not had really any contact with them, except when I was a small child, we would have family reunions 4th of July. So that was just one thing called the Blackwell and the Brown family reunion. So one of my aunts, Aunt Pearl, was there. And many long years later, Mama and I visited her, and she gave me a tablecloth. And this is it. And it's purple and blue, and I love the history behind it, and I love the fact that she thought about me after all those years. This is another pretty one. This one's a heavier fabric. I don't know why it is, but it's a heavier fabric. I was going to hem that at one time, and I didn't. It feels more like feed sack than it does just your regular cotton. It feels got that heavy feel about it. But this is fun to use at a baby shower too. It's got both pink and blue and green. You know, used to you didn't have a reveal. And Mama was telling me this. Mother did a lot of decorating for weddings and birthdays and babies coming. They didn't have showers the way we had them. But you didn't know the sex of the baby. So you had the pink and the green and the blue in this. So she had told me that she used this a lot when they were having a little, most of the time what they had was you come see the baby. You didn't have one before the baby because you didn't give all those gifts that we do now. You just came to see the baby. And you would bring a gift if you wanted to. That was something that everybody liked to do, of course, is to bring a gift. This is another floral, and it's a little bit bigger than a card table. And as you know, our tables were very small back then, so this would fit almost on our table. Mother's the one that taught me to caddy corner, so it was one that we have used quite a bit. As you can tell, it's very worn, but it's got lots of happy memories in it. Lots of peas and corn and cornbread were served on some of these. That was one of our favorites meals to have. And yes, Sundays. And we usually had a roast of some sort on Sundays. A roast, peas, corn, mashed potatoes. And in the winter, we would have green beans because they were canned. And then, of course, later on, Mother froze quite a bit. So this is a fruit. Look at there. That's a kitchen table cloth. It went on the kitchen table. And the different fruits that were in here, I'm a fruitaholic. I don't know if you all know that about me, but I am. And so I always loved this. And in fact, one time I did a painting using these colors and using this pattern. I just drew this pattern on here, put this way and this way, and I did a painting. You can make a painting out of every one of these. They're just so beautiful, and they're so versatile too in the colors that they used. Here's another fruit. It's yellow. Yellow. Braxton loved this one. Bryson loved the blue ones. Braxton loved the yellow ones. This is the border, and this one's a little bit different because the inside is yellow. Most of those have white insides, but this one has a yellow inside. And this one's fun to use also. I use it on my bar a lot, and I use it as a table runner. And all I do is one of two things. If I want it to be wide, I'll hold it wide. If I want it to be narrow, I simply fold it in and fold it over. And I make that be my table runner. I don't care that it's not the same. I'll make it that way. And then I'll iron it down. And it makes a table runner. So you can use these even if you don't want a tablecloth and you want table runners, you can use these in that way. The fruit one I've used a lot too. These have been folded. I'm so happy to show these. I haven't pulled these out in so long. I just pull one out at a time when I have a color that I want, or if I want to do something special. My house is not, as you all know, quote, vintage, but it sure does lend itself to many, many times. Now, this one is huge. This one is huge. In fact, it looks like Mama tore it. I'm thinking it's not a tablecloth. I'm thinking it's fabric Mama got to make her a tablecloth, is what I think it is, because see the rough edge there? And it's huge. So that's what I feel like this uses. Now I use this a lot on the table because it is big. And it does fit this table when everybody's here. See all those beautiful strawberries? Oh my goodness. You know, it fascinates me how the choice of colors and the choice of fabrics and the choice of just what they want to put on them, that they put on this. I wish you could feel this. It feels so good. Now these were made by my niece. I just wanted to show you these. They're not vintage, but she made these. She made Mama one and me one. And I had, at that time, I had daisy dishes. So she cross-stitched me this daisy tablecloth, and I love it. Now I have some ivy dishes. They're green, and they're off-white, and I use them on this one. The ivy dishes were my grandmother's, and then this was made by my cousin. And I think she made these like probably in the 70s. She and I, we're close to the same age, and I think that's that. And she made Mama this one. No, she made Grandmother this one, because Grandmother had the ivy dishes at that time. Those dishes were Grandmother's, and she made this one for Grandmother. This one's a linen one. The other one was a polyester, but this is linen. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's so pretty. And those dishes look so good on it. And when we would come to eat, she would have it all laying out there, and when it got time to eat, she'd take it off the table. And this is another one that she made. I don't remember why, but it has butterflies. It wasn't for a special occasion or anything. And it's in the center, and then it has the butterflies on the corners. All of them are the same color. So this is a special, well, all three of these are very, very special because of that. Kim and I and her sister, Robin, we were all very close. And this one is just a vintage one. Just a vintage one. I don't know how old this one is. And I don't know what era it is. Kim's cross-stitch. She made stockings. She did so many things, handwork in that way. Just such special gifts. Now these are fun. These are, I don't know whether they're 50s or 60s. Look at this. This is so fun. Of course, it says, don't forget meat, fruit, bread, vegetables, or fish. And then it's got your sugars, your canister sets. And this canister, this is honey. There you go. Honey, salt and pepper, rice, coffee, cookies. And then it has your little spatulas and spoon hanging down there. And the colors are so happy. Can't you just imagine sitting down at your table and have all your family down there, and it's Daddy just got home from work, and you've got your tablecloth on there in the kitchen in the chrome set. Now this one is hilarious. Hilarious. It's roosters. Roostered in the barnyard with the barn. And it's a taupe color. It's not off-white. It's darker than off-white. And it's so fun. So fun. This one made me happy. I didn't have anything close to it. So I had to have that one. Don't even remember where I got it. This is another one that's really pretty. And it's, let's see, yeah. Well, one's that way and one's this way. So it's all over it, I'm not sure, maybe. Can't remember, yes. It is. Now I have used this one when for the table runner, or sometimes, now this is a fun thing to do too. Sometimes we eat off of my island, my bar, or whatever you want to call it. So I will put books under it and put the tablecloth over it, so you've got different heights. I'll also, let me just show you. I will also use one of these on it to put things on. I have 2 or 3 different sizes of this. I have porcelain ones, I have the silver ones, and I'll use those to give me different heights on there, and it just kind of gives it a little something special. So that's a hint how to do that. Here's another one. I tried to get them in kind of sort of subject matter instead of when they were made. So this one has a rooster too. This has got to be 60s. Just got to be. There's Paris. Let's just open this one up and see what it does. Oh yeah, you remember those clocks? This is definitely 60s. Definitely 60s. Because you got the mirror, but it has the rooster, which does not fit with any of this other decor. It has a rooster in the corner. Isn't that fun? That's so fun. And here's another rooster. The rooster ones fascinate me. This is the only round vintage one I have. And someone made this one, I'm sure, because you can tell that this was hand sewn. So, and I don't know if Mama made it or not. I can't say that. I can't know that. We did have a round kitchen table, but Mama's sewing was a little more precise because this one doesn't lay completely flat. There we can see it better. Has a psychedelic rooster. He's fun. I try to keep them folded neatly because I don't use them that much, and that keeps them from getting so wadded up. Now this one is a total step away. This is seafood. I love these different subject matters. That's one thing I like to look for, was the different ones. Now this one was used. Look at there. This one, I'm surprised Mary and I didn't make something out of this one. This one is used, probably because I confiscated it because it had fish on it. My daddy was a big fisherman. And now if I use this one, I would use it as a table runner. And we haven't had a fish fry in forever. So we might have to have a fish fry and use this on there. But this is like the nets. And then you have the different fish. And then these are birds. Look at there. You can look and just look at it, and then you can see so many different things. I once had a teacher that told me, don't look, see. And you know, that's really hard to do. You need to see it, not look at it. If you'll look at it, it'll have so many different things in it. This one is ready for tacos. I can just see tacos all over this. I need to have taco night. So this prompts me, we're gonna have taco night again, and I'm gonna use this. I think that would get us back together. My baby boy, he loves anything Mexican. Anything, and so does Bryson. Now these, I'm not gonna open these up. I'm just gonna show them to you. And I also have some of these. These are just everyday pieces of fabric that were made into tablecloths. I use these the most, and I don't want to mess the others up either. So a lot of times I'll take the blue and I'll do a topper of the red or of the yellow. I'll do the green with a topper of the yellow, or I'll use them by themselves. If you find any of these are so versatile and they go with so many things. Like I have red and white dishes, blue and white dishes, and green and white dishes. So all of these, when I put them on my hutch over there, I try to make my table cohesive with it. And also my bar, I do that also. Now these are just one color or two colors. This one has 3. This one's linen. This one's 2 colors. And they just have stripe. They're solid in the middle. This one is plaid all the way through. This is another one that I use. This is a fine linen. You could feel it. It feels so good. Here's another cross stitch. It's only around the edge. These are solids. Don't know what years they are, but pulling them back out and showing them to you all makes me want to get back to it. So this is how I fold a lot of my tablecloths to use as runners. As you see, I put it on the bar. You see all of our fruit and vegetables we have from our garden. And I just fold it into the width that I want. If it's short, I don't care. So I just wanted to give you that idea of a way to use them. Also, I will do it over in this area if I have one. This is a tablecloth too that I have folded to put under my dishes on my hutch, and it looks so good. So there's a couple ideas for you to use them in today's setting. They're easy, they're fun, they're versatile, and it just has so much nostalgia behind it. And vintage is just so wonderful. I just can't express to you how much I love vintage. Until our next adventure.